The whole reason I'm getting into politics is to bring in honesty, transparency, and real people, not career politicians that have been institutionalized, who are towing a political party's narrative or vision or whatever it may be, rather than their constituents, rather than the people that they're supposed to be looking after.
So Baz, I'm talking to you because Western Australia has an election coming up, and RDA Media wants to give people in Western Australia some opposing views from the big parties, the Liberals and the Labor candidates, because, you know, Australia-wide, I think people have been a bit disappointed over the last year how the big parties have handled themselves. So I really want to give a voice to smaller parties with different views. And so, yeah, tell me what party you're with and why you're running and what you stand for.
My name is Tadros, and I'm running for Health Australia Party in the state elections. The state elections are going to be on the 13th of March, for people that don't know. And yeah, we basically, the idea that we're presenting here is a choice for people, to give people an opportunity to choose a party that is balanced and that has views that are based on the voice of the people that we represent, rather than views that the party thought would be a good idea and they're going to run with.
So what are the core values of the party?
So Health Australia Party started out with the premise of protecting natural therapies and helping practitioners that are in those arenas, because more and more those practitioners obviously are dealing with the community and helping people, and you know, either they're losing their rights, or as we've seen more recently, they're coming off on the extras private health insurance. And so that's what we started off with, kind of personal health. And we thought having a one cause as our vision as a party is kind of limiting. So what we decided to do, if we want to look after Monica's health, we need to look at the environment Monica lives in. What's the food that Monica is eating? What's the water that she's getting? Because all these elements, the democracy, the society, all these elements contribute to Monica's personal health. In fact, they directly impact, as we've seen in the last year, as you alluded to, all those decisions make an impact on our health. So Health Australia Party has 5 key pillars, and those pillars are healthy people, healthy environment, healthy economy, healthy democracy, and healthy society.
Explain to Western Australians how important it is to have a look at the smaller parties, and even if, you know, you get some votes but you don't get a seat, how does that impact the overall influence in Parliament?
Sure. Again, I'll speak on my behalf as a natural human being rather than on the behalf of the party. And when I was first introduced to the whole world of voting as a young 18-year-old and as an Australian citizen, I was always confused. Who am I supposed to be voting for and why? And I was one of those people that we may call swing voters, because I'd look at this guy and his merits, and I never really voted for the party. I voted for the person. So whether they're a big party or a small party, we need to sort of get a sense for the person, that individual. I've personally disliked politics most of my life. I don't want to swear, and I don't want to say anything out of context here. But most people, when they say to me politics, I say I don't want to know about it. But recently, I got involved with Health Australia Party because I interviewed them, much like you're interviewing me, and I got a feel for their values, and I got a feel that they're real people, not career politicians, that have a real purpose, and they're more like a community rather than a political party. And a community that wants to be the change that they want to see. And so I aligned with that. And when they asked me to stand as a candidate, I said, yes, I will, from the premise that I want to change the system. I don't want to come into the system and play the old rules that politics have always done, which is badmouth anybody else. That's not my intention. I want to present solutions rather than present problems. I'm not going to come in and make promises that I can't deliver. And I'm not a politician until I'm elected, right? And so I'm just a normal person that wants to see a change. And that's what I truly care about. I really want to see that Australians are healthier. I want to see people have the freedom of choice with their health, not be told what to do, but be heard. And that's really, as you said earlier, that's what governments need to be doing, is listening to the people rather than telling them what to do. When you're telling people what to do, you believe, or you think, you come from the premise that you know everything and they know nothing. And it makes people feel like they're they're being dictated to, or they're stupid. They don't know how to look after their own health. And if that's the premise, then why are we even doing politics? Like, what's the point? If everybody's stupid, then we may as well not try and govern them at all. Just give up.
Yeah, right.
But instead, you can believe that they're intelligent. And if you believe they're intelligent and they know what they're doing, they need a bit of guidance. And most people are very good at self-governance. They don't need to be over-governed, or else where is this going to end? Do we need to come into people's homes and check what time they're feeding their family? I'm surprised because the mask idea, just if I could stick to that broken soapbox of mine for the moment, why aren't we stopping people from smoking then? Because smoking is worse for their health than not wearing a mask. What's happening to obesity? If we really care about people's health, is mask the only real solution? Should we make it compulsory and mandatory that people wear hats when they leave the house in case they get sunburnt? How far do we take this? And how far is too much, over abuse of power rather than actually handling things with a sense of fairness and equality?
Baz, do you have a message that you want to end the interview with?
Well, I'm running in the territory of agriculture. And the reason I'm doing that is because I really genuinely care about people's health. And I think nutrition, food, and farming go hand in hand. If we have healthy soil and healthy food and vegetables that give us healthy nutrition, then we have a healthy human being that's eating that nutrition. If we take away the nutrition from the soil and the food, then how is a human being supposed to regulate their nutrition and their health? So I'm very passionate about agriculture for several reasons. One of the other reasons, other than the direct correlation between food and nutrition and farming, is farmers' mental health. Farmers are usually in isolation and they're in rural areas. And we're seeing a lot of farmers struggle from mental health issues to suicide rates to all sorts of different struggles and challenges that they never previously had to deal with. Like, for example, even the WA border lockdowns has meant that they don't have the usual workforce that they would get coming through. And that's presented more challenges in addition to droughts and water struggles and all the other things that they have to contend with. So I want to actually hear the farmers' voice and be their voice in Parliament, as well as be the voice for rural communities. I'm very passionate about Indigenous communities and their health. For them, they have a beautiful model, which is a very holistic model. That health is not just about managing disease. It's about, having a healthy body, healthy mind, healthy spirit, healthy culture. And I think these are the essentials that we all can benefit from.
Sure. Okay. And how can people find out about you, read about you, and get to know you more?
Well, I think the best way to do that is through the healthaustraliaparty.com.au website. On there, there's a section about all the candidates, not just myself. I am running in the upper house in agriculture, so not the lower house seat, but the upper house in the Senate. And they can have a look at, who I am, what I stand for, what are the key things that I want to help, like seed security, protect our rural and farming land from foreign investments, things like this. But most important is healthy people and healthy agriculture.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you.